But the problem of global climate change is one that affects us all. The environmental challenge, which confronts the whole world, demands an equivalent response from the whole world. Every country will be affected, and no one can opt out. We can't just do nothing. Time is too short for that.
Good morning, Prime Minister. Good morning.
The Right Honourable Margaret Thatcher.
What we are now doing to the world, by degrading the land surfaces, by polluting the waters, and by adding greenhouse gases to the air at an unprecedented rate, all this is new in the experience of the Earth. It is mankind and his activities which are changing the environment of our planet in damaging and dangerous ways. Annual increase is 3 billion tons, and half the carbon emitted since the Industrial Revolution still remains in the atmosphere. The result is that change in future is likely to be more fundamental and more widespread than anything we have known hitherto. Change to the sea around us, change to the atmosphere above, leading in turn to change in the world's climate, which could alter the way we live in the most fundamental way of all. That prospect is a new factor in human affairs. Let me quote from a letter that I received only 2 weeks ago from a British scientist on board a ship in the Antarctic Ocean. He wrote, "In the polar regions today, we are seeing what may be early signs of man-induced climatic change. And instruments aboard the ship on which I am sailing show that we are entering a spring ozone depletion, which is as deep as, if not deeper, than the depletion in the worst year to date." And I'm thinking of the use of nuclear power, which, despite the attitude of so-called Greens, is the most environmentally safe form of energy. But the problem of global climate change is one that affects us all. We can't just do nothing. Time is too short for that. Before leaving the area where international action is needed, I would make a plea for a further global convention, one to serve and to conserve the infinite variety of species of plant and animal life which inhabit our planet. The tropical forests contain a half of the species in the world, so their disappearance is doubly damaging. And it is astonishing but true that our civilization, whose imagination has reached the boundaries of the universe, doesn't know to within a factor of 10 how many species the Earth supports. What we do know is that we're losing them at a reckless rate, between 3 and 50 each day on some estimates, species which could perhaps be helping us to advance the frontiers of medical science. We should act together to conserve this precious heritage. Secondly, we shall be drawing up over the coming year our own environmental agenda for the decade ahead. That will cover energy, transport, agriculture, industry, everything which affects the environment. With regard to energy, we already have a £2 billion programme of improvements to reduce acid rain emissions from our power stations. We shall give special help to manage and preserve the tropical forests. We are already assisting in 20 countries and have recently signed agreements with India and Brazil. And as a new pledge, I can announce today that we aim to commit a further £100 million bilaterally to tropical forestry activities over the next 3 years, mostly within the framework of the Tropical Forestry Action Plan. That is all what we are doing in Britain under those 4 headings, all of those things. Mr. President, the environmental challenge which confronts the whole world demands an equivalent response from the whole world. Every country will be affected, and no one can opt out. We should work through this great organization and its agencies to secure worldwide agreements on ways to cope with the effects of climate change, the thinning of the ozone layer, and the loss of precious species.